June 24th, 1932, the day that changed the future of Thailand forever. Siamese Revolution of 1932.
In 1932, what took place was not merely a change, but should be called a revolution, as it transformed the state's form of governance. This marked the end of absolute monarchy and the transition to democratic system with the monarch as the head of the state. This event would send ripples that lasted until the end of World War II, determining Thailand's fate as victor or loser in the war. However, before reaching that day, we must go back to February 1926 in France. A group of Thai students in Paris met and agreed to cooperate in transforming the government of Siam through a method of swift power seizure. As they gradually gained support from civilians, military personnel, and naval force, the world would later come to know them as Cana Rasadon or People Parties.
Fast forward to the night of June 23rd. Heavy rain overloaded the humid evening air while the planners finalized their strategy. At dawn on June 24, 1932, under a clear sky and warm weather, the People's Party, Cana Rasadon, launched their revolution. Song, the head of transportation for the operation, sent armored vehicles down the street of Bangkok, the capital of Siam. They swiftly surrounded government ministry and palace, cutting off internal communication. Within just a few hours, the supreme power of the Thai monarchy, which had endured for over 150 years, was dismantled in Southeast Asia's only independent nation.
Remarkably, there was no bloodshed or loss of life, and government officials distributed copies of People Party manifesto to the public. At least that's what Arjun recounts in his book. The book efficiently captured the overall narrative of the event with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Compared to the first announcements of the People's Party released on the same day, the manifesto does not summarize the incident or its significance. It merely lays out 6 demands that will be implemented for the benefit of the people of Siam. Yet, the announcements addressed many questions. For example, why is the record that within just a few hours, supreme power was dismantled or that there was not bloodshed? These statements are included together in the same document because the announcement was intended to communicate simultaneously with both the king and ordinary citizens. It explicitly states, the People Party does not seek to usurp the throne. Therefore, we respectfully invite the king to remain in his position, though he must now be bound by the constitution. He cannot act alone, but only with the consent of the People's Assembly. This intent has been conveyed to the king, who currently under our custody. Additionally, it calls on the people. All citizens must unite and assist the People Party in carrying out this task, which will endure for generations. The People's Party asks all who were not involved in seizing power from the government above the law to remain peaceful and focus on their livelihoods. Do not obstruct the People Party. By assisting the People Parties, the citizens are helping the country and securing their own future, as well as those of their children and grandchildren. The nation will achieve full independence and the people will enjoy safety, employment, and freedom from hunger. The announcements have often been referenced for interpretation and analysis regarding the consequence of the revolution. It offered insights from multiple perspectives, such as the king, who was not in the capital but became aware of the revolution later. The first announcement of the People Parties could not have conveyed this at the time, as it was released in the moment of action. Nevertheless, the manifesto served as crucial evidence that the transformation of the state governance had truly occurred. The book also discussed the link between the Great Depression, economic effects, and the speed at which society was changing and dissatisfaction with the privilege enjoyed by upper class. These factors were frequently cited as cause of the revolution, and as a result of it, the 6 principles were established to reflect objectivity centered on people's power, national security, economic welfare, equality, rights, and liberty, and education for all citizens. And not just this event that influenced the revolution in Thailand, but also the revolution that happened in 1917 in Russia and in 1918 in Germany, as stating in the announcement of the People's Party. If there is no money, the government sees access or used forced labor. Yes, you live comfortably without care. No other country in the world grants its rulers such wealth, except Tsarist Russia and Kaiser Germany, both of which have had their monarchy overthrown. This demonstrates that global events has the direct impact on Thailand's transformation, inspiring the revolution. However, both of the evidence, both the articles and the People's Party manifesto indicate that this journey and struggle were far from over. The People's Party's manifesto explicitly frames the announcement as the beacon of hope for the Thai people.